Okay. Anandpur, can you confirm if my voice is clear? It's clear, right? You can hear? You can hear me?
Yeah.
It's audible? Okay. Thank you, Neema. Um, okay. So, thank you all for joining. We are starting chapter 16 today. So, today I will summarize chapter 16, 17, and 18. Um, because most of the things are a little bit repetitive, and because we are on the summarize part of it. So, Anandpur, are you still not able to hear? I see your text. You're saying you can't hear. Is better now, Anandpur?
I can hear now.
Okay, thank you. So we will be covering chapter 16, 17, and 18 today. And if everything goes well, today will be the last class from the Bhagavad Gita crash course. And then after our today's class, we probably be arranging some graduation ceremony where we will distribute the certificate to everyone from ISKCON Dallas Temple. Everyone will get a certificate of Bhagavad Gita crash course completion. So we are starting with chapter 16 today. I mean 16, 17, and 18. And please feel free to interrupt anywhere you have any questions, concern, comment. Please feel free to go unmute and ask that. So chapter 16 has the three parts. It's a small chapter with 24 shlokas. It has been divided into three parts. One is uh, divine and demoniac qualities. Krishna is talking about that there are divine and demoniac qualities within us. So it's like some people say that there are demons. In ancient stories, you will hear that there are devatas and there are demons. Those are different entities. Dev- Devatas means they are demigods, and demons means grossly engaged in bad activities. In Kali Yuga, in our time, these two people, Dev and Demon, reside within us. Divine and demon qualities. We are divine and we are demonic also. So when we are going through this chapter, we should be looking at each shloka as it, because this chapter is about demonic qualities mostly. So we should not be thinking the chapter is talking about someone else. The chapter is talking about ourselves. All these demonic qualities are within us. In this context, one speaker gives very nice example. He says that it's like, and this story, this analogy is also given in US. Preachers in US also give this analogy. They say, consider there is a good dog and bad dog in our body. Now, everything which is good, which is pleasing to the heart, um, like serving others or taking care of senior citizens, loving juniors, having cordial relationship with the peers, or having nice food which is juicy, not very spicy, or making plans for the welfare of society. These are very good qualities, isn't it? So it's like a good dog barking inside our heart so that we do these things and satisfy him. One dog is barking for food, you give him some food, he gets the play. He's satisfied, he will not bark. And similarly, another dog is also barking, you give him some food, he is also satisfied. So these two dogs are within us. One dog is barking for good food, and the bad dog is barking for bad food, like that. What is the good food? Good food means good activities, serving others, taking care of others, like that. And bad dog means doing all sense of corruption, um, all types of satisfying lusty desires, harming others, taking revenge. So this is the bark coming from bad dog. So consider like there is a good dog and then there is a bad dog. Now, Whichever dog we start feeding, both are barking. It's not like bad. It's not that only one dog, both are barking. Now whichever dog we try to feed, that dog stays and other dies. So let's say bad dog is barking, bad dog is saying I want to take revenge from this person, or um, I want to do corruption so I can earn more money. Like that, bad dog is barking. And if we do that activity, it means we are making this dog stronger, right? Similarly, good dog is also barking. I want to do good to others. I want to perform devotional service, like that. So if we perform that activity, we are making this dog stronger. Now, with this understanding, we have to cultivate the activity which make that dog stronger. You know what I mean? So if you want to say, I want to become a bad person, okay, you can feed this dog. But we all are spiritualists trying to understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. So we don't want to get to this bad dog. We want to cultivate this one within ourselves, which means go we want to do good activities. So in the first part of this chapter, Krishna is saying that, okay, I told you many things about divine qualities, let's talk about bad dog, the demoniac qualities. And then Krishna will explain about demonic nature, and then we'll discuss the choice. So I might not be covering all the shlokas, but the important ones only from the 16, 17, and 18 chapters. Yeah. So this is the fifth shloka. Krishna is saying here that the transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Now you see, the question might come: what is divine? When Krishna is talking about two things here, divine and demoniac, correct? Now, which quality you will say this is divine and this is demoniac? That becomes a question. That what quality you will say divine? Because you see, sometimes there is a same activity, but that same activity may look divine to someone, may look demoniac to other. Correct? Uh, One time I was passing by the road and I saw one lady was beating his son like anything. And I was thinking about that lady. I was thinking that she is so cruel, because I mean, you can, okay, first of all, you should not be hitting your child, but at most, if required, you can just show a stick, just to just the child gets little scared. But beating too harshly is too much. But when I went there, then one person was telling me that this child, probably 10, 12 years old, and just now police came there to investigate about a robbery happened recent somewhere nearby. So the child was really into this demoniac nature. So the same activity of beating might look which was looking to me as like really demoniac, but I realized that child is so demoniac, he should be beaten like anything. So what is the definition of divine and demonic becomes a question. So consider a person um, who is stuck in an ocean. There is a person, let's say this is an ocean, and this person is stuck in the ocean. Now one force is being applied on it to make it more sink in the ocean inside. This force A, this force A. So this force A is acting on this person to sink him more inside the ocean, deeper in the ocean. And there is one force B which is helping him coming out of the ocean, and he is just very much struggling to come out. So this force A, which is forcing him go more deeper into the ocean, is actually demoniac force. And the force which will help him to come out of the ocean will be qualified as a divine force. So the same force works within us, and that is a qualification for one to say that this quality is divine and this quality is demoniac. The same thing Krishna is telling here. Ma shucha sampadam devim abhijatosmi pandava. Krishna is saying the transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, which means these qualities help one come out of this sansar dhavanal. sansar sagar jayate, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. And this material world is like an ocean, and it is very difficult to get out of this ocean. But if you take shelter of my lotus feet, O Arjuna, then this ocean is very easily to cross over. So all the qualities that one is having within himself, which are conducive for liberation, those are divine qualities, whereas the demoniac qualities are the ones which are putting one into deeper and deeper into this ocean. So that is a difference between divine and demoniac. Any quality will can be good or bad, I'm telling you, but if that is not helping one to come out of the ocean, that is bad only, you know. For example, I can donate many cows to brahmanas. I can feed food to the poor people. From outside, it's a good quality. But what good is it is bringing? At max, it will take me to the heavenly planets. Heavenly planets are also part of the same material world. So it's not helping me get out of the material world. So what good it is bringing me? Nothing. But if I'm cooking the food and offering it to the Lord and distributing to others, those are hungry, and if even if they are not getting hungry, even if they are not hungry, then I am also getting the spiritual benefit. They are also getting the spiritual benefit. I am also using this quality um, to liberate, and I'm also helping them also to get liberated. That becomes a transcendental quality. So good and bad are the part of material world, and anyone who is stuck in the good or bad quality, he will stuck in the material world. But all the qualities that we have should be harmonized with Krishna's will. Okay, does that make sense so far? Yeah. Okay. So, and then Krishna says, "O son of Parth, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine, and other called demoniac." So Krishna is saying here, Devo Vistarsha Prokta. Devo Vistarsha Prokta means, Krishna is saying that Prokta means told. I told you about Devo, I told you about divine so far, and Vistar, detail. Krishna is saying, I told you about divine qualities in detail. Asuram Parth Me Shunu. Me Shunu means now you hear from me about Asuram, about demonic qualities. Okay, so let's see what are the demonic qualities. Krishna is saying, those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. See, demonic people, they just keep inventing something, but they do not know what is to be done, what not to be done. For example, the invention of polythene, it happened by accident. They were not planning to prepare anything material which can be used as bag. And the invention of polythene was also accidental. And they did not realize that it is so harmful for the nature. They invented something and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And they started making them into bags or something like that. And then now you see a lot of human cry around using polybags. Correct? It's not very good for the nature. So similarly, mobile phones also, they were invented, and later it was realized that the signal that we communicate with using mobile phones, they kill the birds in the nature. So dangerous. Internet, so much crime has been increased since the internet has come into picture. Lot people will say, oh no, there has been good things, but there are bad things also. The point here is, these demoniac people, they don't know the overall impact of this. They just keep making plans, and whatever is coming out, they just say, okay, we can use it, let's go with it. So this is like a never ending list. I will show you some more examples later on, where the inventor has himself said later on that I regret that I invented this thing. you know so these are demonic qualities. They don't know what is good, they don't know what not to be done. They just keep inventing. They will start engaging people also start using it, and after that, after a long time of duration, they'll come to know there is a big harm. I think I shared this in this class also. 1930s, they realized that the market is fully consumed, and we cannot sell alcohol anymore. 1930. So they're like, oh, why we can't sell more alcohol? They said, because all men have started drinking. Now there is no market left. Now these big MBAs from Oxford, They came and they're like, no, half of the market is still left. Oh, why so? Because women are still not drinking. And they're like, oh my God, oh yeah, that's a good point. But can we make them drink? Yes, we can make them drink. We have big degrees. We have done MBA. So we will run some propaganda and the woman will also start drinking. Oh, what would you do? Then the marketing started. On the Republic Day, they found some very selected spots where a lot of people will be looking at. And on those selected spots, Hollywood actors were made to stand and have drink and the cigarettes to show the sign of freedom, women empowerment or freedom, whatever you call it. And then women started drinking. After 20 years, women got addicted and they realized that this drinking in women is causing breast cancer after 20 years. And this is a demonic nature. They just keep inducing people to do a lot of things, but they don't know what is to be done, what not to be done. Now the question is, what drives their motivation? If they don't know what is to be done, what not to be done, then they can just cry like a child. Child doesn't know what to be done, not to be done. So he starts crying for help. But they don't cry for help. They create more chaos in the society. So the question is, what drives their motivation? So let's see what Krishna tells. Krishna is saying they believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization, which means this is what motivate them, that this invention will gratify my senses. I will get a Nobel Prize. A lot of people will applaud for me. I will bring some soil from moon, and people will say, "Oh, this was the first person landed on moon." Just to gratify the senses. They don't know what is the purpose. Nothing. Just doing things for the sake of doing it, gaining some sense pleasure out of it. And for how long they do it? Until the end of life. They keep doing, and so their anxiety is immeasurable. Big scientists also, they are in anxiety. We have to invent something. They keep investing 18 hours, 20 hours in lab only. They don't know what is to be done, continuously working the this endless pursuit. Srila Prabhupada in this context was saying that we have a personal experience of a person of such demonic mentality who, even at the point of death, was requesting the physician to prolong his life for 4 years, more because his plans were not yet complete. See, he's on a deathbed and he's crying to physician that please give me 4 more years. I still have to do sense enjoyment. And this example that Prabhupada is giving is not new. See, this person, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's, this is the news actually. This is not something Prabhupada is giving example old one. This is the recent one I'm showing you from businessinsider.com. This person is working on a research. He's saying that I want to give people another 10 years of healthy, vigorous life. He is also thinking in the same direction. What Prabhupada is telling is, so people have this demonic quality. They don't know that by nature's law, certain soul has to take birth in this material world, and then in due course of time he has to die. They want to take control of the nature, and then they will invent a lot of things like that. So laws of nature do not allow a second. Prabhupada says, do not allow a second um, beyond what one is destined to enjoy. If one is destined to die, immediately Yamdutas will come and take, take his soul out of his body. Immediately. If you go to Google and you just type, people died on camera, live. You will see person is healthy, he's just reading the news and immediately heart attack, died. Immediately. Or person is playing very healthy, no problem, and immediately died. One reporter, she was standing on a roof and doing some reporting of political rally, and Yamdutas came, immediately died. The laws of nature are so strict; they do not allow a second beyond one to destined to enjoy. Then Krishna further says, they say means demoniac people say that this world is unreal with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. That's how the people. One famous philosopher, the recent one, 1960, this philosopher also used to say, Carl Dung. that person used to say, oh, this word is unreal, just uh, it is just out of sex desire we are taking birth, that's all. Let's see what Prabhupada says in this context. Prabhupada says they conclude that as a child is simply the result of sexual intercourse between man and woman. This world is born without any soul. For them, it is only a combination of matter that has produced the living entities. So, this is coming from Prabhupada's purport. You see, Prabhupada is saying, and Prabhupada wrote this purport in 1970, and scientists are still talking about the same thing, that there was matter, collided with each other, and then this universe got created. You see, if your room is dirty, everything room is really messed up, and then you enter in the room, and then you realize everything is properly arranged. Do you think it can happen automatically? Some blast happen. The blast will create mess. It will not create order. Correct. So if they are you talking about Big Bang, how come this order is coming into the picture? Right? Bang should create more mess. It should not create order. We see the universe is so orderly arranged. We have Earth, Sun, all these planets are beautifully running around, not colliding with each other, very nicely revolving on the axis on the planet. And we see the galaxy pictures now, where telescopes also the sending these pictures is so beautiful. So how come a Big Bang creates such a nice order? Correct? No, this is not possible. These demonic people, they say there's a Big Bang, there's this thing. So that's what
Hare
Prabhupada
Krishna
mentioned.
Prabhuji, screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible. You can't see my screen, is it? Anyone?
It's visible.
Oh, it's visible. It's visible.
Okay. So in 1970, Prabhupada wrote this line, saying it is only a combination of matter that has produced the living entity. So that's how demonic people say. And this Big Bang came after that, and they are still singing the same song. And Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, we read that in last class, I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in orbit. This is so simple to understand. Krishna is saying, I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in orbit. Definitely, we need some energy for an object to stay at certain place. And that energy, Krishna is saying that I am supplying. Then further about the demonic nature, Krishna says, following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Let me show you some examples here. Let's read this line from Prabhupada purport, and then we'll discuss these examples here. Prabhupada says, the materialists who have no concept of God think that they are advancing. Correct, na? They think they are advancing. Oh, I am getting more money in my bank account. I am advancing. Sir, you are not advancing. Your body is deteriorating very fast. So what is the advancement? What is the use of getting more and more money in the account if that money cannot get you what you want? Huh? What is the point of earning more and more money? What is the point of having nice dress if you cannot earn mortality with it? I want to become immortal. I don't want to take another birth, but can I that with my money in the account, with the way how I look? It's all outer. So, but the materialist, you and me are understanding this, but the materialists will not understand this. For them, they are advancing. But according to Bhagavad Gita, they are unintelligent, mudha, and devoid of all senses. They try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit. Utmost limit means to the extent of hurting others also. And therefore, they always engage in inventing something for sense pleasure. They are engaged in inventing something for sense pleasure. They don't know that it is so harmful. I give you some examples. This Nobel Prize person, he built this dynamite, and after building it, he regretted. Oh, what did I do? He built the diamond. Now dynamite is creating chaos in the world. Tim Berners, and this guy invented www dot that we use on internet, na? So he was one of the founder for internet. Now it is his word. You see, he's saying, I am devastated in 2017, his regret in 2017, he said in an interview with Vanity Fair, he says, "We demonstrated that the web has instead of serve humanity as it was supposed to have done and failed in many places." He's regretting that this internet was invented because his purpose was for to serve humanity, but actually what it turned out to be bad. So he just invented something which even he was not aware of that it would be so harmful. Oppenheimer, he invented atom bomb. He also regretted. Victor Grun, he invented shopping mall in 1978. He brought this concept of having shopping malls. But 2 years before his death, he renounced his creation and he renounced. And see, this is very hard. He's saying, I would like to take this opportunity to disclaim paternity once and for all. He's saying, I want to I don't want to claim the paternity of shopping mall. I want to disclaim this. Why? I refuse to pay alimony to those developments. They destroyed our societies. He's saying this culture of shopping mall, it is destroying our societies. It is bringing inflation in the society because what shopping malls do, they increase the purchasing power of a person, right? If the purchasing capacity of someone is increasing and he's purchasing more, the prices will increase, or the shortage of products will happen. So market gets into chaos. Same thing with credit card also. So all of you know, right? The credit card also increase the purchasing capacity. Purchasing capacity increasing, person is buying more. When he is buying more, he is getting more. For himself also, he's getting more anxiety. And in market also, inflation gets increased or the shortage of goods. Sell the same guy, Chat GPT person, he's saying we have got to be careful here. Hey, why are you saying careful? You're inventing something, which means you are not very thoughtful when you invented that product, isn't it? If I'm very thoughtful that okay, I have to create this, I'm creating it, why I'm saying I have to be careful here? But he's saying we have to be careful here. I think people should be happy that we are little bit scared of this, and that's why people are saying they are unintelligent. If you are little bit scared, then why you are still working on this product or something like Chat GPT? Correct, na? And you are saying we should be careful also. The same thing, because of sense gratification. That's all. Animal killing. Prabhat talks about animal killing also. Prabhat saying animal killing is very prominent amongst demoniac people. Such people are considered the enemies of the world because ultimately they will invent or create something which will bring destruction to all. My spiritual master in one of his lectures was telling 10,000 cows are killed every day. Every day. 10,000 cows. It is so gross. It is so gross. Further, Krishna says, taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniacs, thus illusioned, are always sown to unclean work, attracted by impermanent. Yeah, and that's how making of demons go. The demoniac people thinks, so much wealth do I have today, I will gain more according to my schemes. So you see, that is the only agenda. Wealth is the only agenda in demoniac person's mind. So he says, so much is mine now, and it will increase in future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. It's just me scheme going on. This is called me scheme. Me scheme keeps going on. Me scheme. How about others? I don't care. I am the lord of everything. That's the me scheme demonic people have. Demoniac's mentality. We also have demonic mentality actually. That's why we were discussing in the beginning. But because we are reading this science of Bhagavad Gita connected with Bhakti Yoga, we are understanding this at least. And then we will practice it also. But these demonic people, they will understand. Man, plan making of demons. This is a plan making of demons. Then Krishna further says, thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment. And then what happens? Fall down into hell. To, so why anxiety is because they have plan after plan after plan after plan after plan. That's why endless anxiety. And let's say there is no plan, they are working under Krishna's will, then peaceful, no problem. Even the world is so degraded now that person is not able to properly do sense gratification also. Huh? Correct? No? We are not able to properly eat food. Why? Because there is a because office is started. Now I cannot have food properly. The basic thing why we are earning money to have a good food at least. But that food also we are not able to properly take because office is going on. Sleep. Oh, I am not able to take properly sleep also. Why? Because my office is there, my responsibility is this, that, so many plan making going on. So the what I'm trying to say that what to talk about yoga, bhakti yoga, or spirituality, the materialistics are not able to properly do sense gratification as well. Huh? And what is happening? They're completely perplexed by various anxieties. I don't know what is the pleasure materialistic takes actually. So anyone can, I don't know, any intelligent person can easily understand um, that what is the world I am living in. I don't know. Before coming into spirituality connected with ISKCON, I used to always think where we are, what I'm doing. I always used to think this anybody can easily understand this where we are going. Krishna further says, sense complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. So I show you some pictures. I gave this lecture long time back. Let me see if that PPT. Yeah. See, Krishna, first of all, I explain you this. Saying they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, which means whatever coming in their mind, they just keep doing that. they they don't think at all that what we are doing. Like I show you this picture. Yeah, it's not recommended, na. This cow crumbling ritual. This is followed in MP. This is called Gai Puja. Gai Gahuri Puja. So they will decorate the cows and just lay on the ground and have the cows run over them. And they call it as a method of human repentance. This Bijari ritual performed by villagers in Madhya Pradesh, wherein people voluntarily lie on the road while cows are made to run over them. This is so foolish, isn't it? I mean, in Bhagavatam we read, Parishit Maharaj is asking Sukdev Goswami. He's saying that, Sukdevji, please tell me how one should repent. Then Sukdev is telling multiple things. Then Parikshit Maharaj is saying, no, this type of repentance is like elephant bathing. Elephant goes to bath, come out, and then roll over on the ground again, get dirty. So these people, even if cows will run over them, let's say, the desire for sinful activities will stay as is in their heart. So they will again get into sinful activities. So what type of repentance is this? Correct, no? And it is not recommended also. And that's what you see Krishna is telling here. Krishna is saying they sometimes proudly perform some sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. Krishna will tell later also about this. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. And then comes the choice. Krishna says, Trividham narkasedam dwaram nashan matmana kramakodas talobhastas madet tatram tatyajet. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to degradation of soul. Three things: lust, anger, and greed. Now, if you recall in chapter 2, Krishna is telling the same thing. 60. text 62 and 63. Krishna is saying, while contemplating the object of senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, love develops. So, what is happening here? Contemplation. First, contemplation starts, that I want this, I want this, I want this, and then person develops attachment for this. Oh no, I need this at any cost. Attachment, and then with that attachment, what happens? Lust. Lust means it is mine, something or someone. When attachment is developed, lust. Then comes the point, lust. I need this is, I want it. And then what happens? From lust, anger develops. Now, someone might say, if uh, if lust will be satisfied, why anger is coming? See, anger will eventually come, because when lust is satisfied, na, lust comes into picture. Like pouring ghee in fire. There is a fire, you pour some ghee, more fire, more ghee, more fire, more ghee, more fire. Like similarly, if you satisfy, if there is, lust is like fire, huh? You satisfy it, more lust. Satisfy it, more lust. And then there come a point when lust will not be able to, you will not be able to satisfy lust. Then anger will arise. That's why Krishna is saying lust develops, and from lust anger arises. Okay. And then 63, Krishna says, from anger complete delusion arises. Means person doesn't know what to do, what not to do. Even it comes to the point, he says, I am committing suicide. Because he doesn't know what to do. How do I satisfy my lust? I don't know, better I suicide. He gets into so much depression. And then from that delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. When intelligence is lost, one falls down again into this material pool. So the same thing, you see, Krishna is telling here. Krishna is saying these are the three gates of hell. Correct? Na? Chapter 2 also Krishna told this thing, that lust, anger, and greed. Huh? From lust, you start to satisfy, greed will come, and ultimately anger will come. And in chapter 2, like Krishna said, na, he gets deeper into the material pool. Similarly, Krishna here that the person will ultimately go to hell. It's a great degradation of soul. Then further, Krishna is telling the man who has escaped these three gates. What are the three gates? Lust, anger, and greed. Correct? These three gates. Krishna is saying, one who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attain the supreme destination. What does that mean? See, as you see in this picture, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written a very nice book. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is one of our Acharya, Parampara. And as one of our Acharya, he has given very great literatures to us. One of the literature from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has stories, like he's giving spiritual knowledge in the form of stories. I have that book. So in that there is a story. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is saying that, let's say there is a person who is holding a tree like this, like this, tightly holding it, and he's saying, oh, I am very hungry, please give me food, please give me food, please give me food. And you approach, you say, oh, he's very hungry, you go to him and you give him food, and then this person is not ready to leave the tree. He's just shouting, I am hungry, I am hungry. Then what would happen? He will stick to the tree, and he will not be able to satisfy his hunger also. Correct? Na? Similarly, people who are stick to these three things, lust, anger, and greed, these are the three I would say gate of this material world. If one is able to open these three gates, then he can enter into the spiritual world. But these are like three gates, this prison we are stuck into. And in this prison, these are the three gates one has to cross over: lust, anger, and greed. And because of these three gates, in this prison we are stuck, and we are crying for hunger. We need this, we need this, we need this, we need that. We are not able to satisfy our hunger because we are tightly holding um, these three trees, you can say, in that analogy. Correct? Na? So we have to come out of these three things. Further, Krishna says, he who discards spiritual injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness and nor supreme destination. You see in this picture, and now I will pictures also. So in this translation, Krishna is saying that people also follow spirituality in their own mood, in their own whimsical way. That's called whimsical, means they don't follow the scripture, they just follow, okay, I go to this person or this devi, this devta, and he is giving me this, so I will follow. So I will show you this picture. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. Srila Prabhupada says, as described before, the Shastra Vidhi or the direction of Shastra is given to a different caste and orders of human society. Everyone is expected to follow these rules and regulations. If one does not follow them and acts whimsically, Prabhupada is mentioning this word again, whimsically, according to his lust, greed, and desire, then he never be perfect in his life. Now I show you this picture, this picture is of temple in my home city only in Ghaziabad. There is a temple, they worship dogs there. Devesh Prabhu must have visited this temple, probably he lives in Delhi. So people come like in big crowd will come in the temple and they will worship dogs there, you know and they don't they just worship dogs. They don't know who is God, what is and there is no shastric injunction also that you should be worshiping God, there should be a temple.
Prabhuji, voice issue is very much there, Prabhuji.
Voice is not coming. Voice issue. Anand Bro, confirm if the voice is an issue.
Now audible, Prabhuji.
It's good. It's good, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So you see, similarly, I was showing you this, this picture. I show you another picture also. I gave one PPT. This is called Timithi, the fire walking festival. This is originated in Tamil Nadu. So they walk barefoot on this fire, and for the goddess Draupadi. I don't know which goddess is there. Similarly, there is another festival in Maharashtra and Karnataka. What they do, they are tossing infants from the roof. Can you imagine? There is no spiritual injunction. They're just following it, and people will hold blanket on down below, and someone will throw these kids from the roof, and saying that it is for the good luck for the kid. You see, another tradition is there: cooking the flesh and piercing the body. There is no spiritual injunction like this. They're just doing it, rolling over food leftovers. Similarly, these people have hanged themselves. You see, there is skin like this, hanging by hooks. They call Garud Thukam festival in Kerala. So there is no spiritual injunction. They're just simply for the sake of following, they are following it. If the girl is not getting married, they will first get him married with a dog, and then they will say they will get married now. So like that, Prabhupada is mentioning here, everyone is expected to follow rules and regulation. If one does not follow them and it's whimsically according to his lust, greed, and desire, he will never be perfect in his life. He will not get any sukriti also. Just for the sake of doing, they are doing, and to fulfill some desire, they are approaching these so-called gods, but they will not get any perfection. Yes, Devesh Prabhu, you want to say something?
Prabhuji, my question is, you talked about several processes being followed by the different people at different parts of the country. So I want to ask you about the two things. One is for the Kamar Yatra, which has been run in the Savan, during Savan, where the water from the river Ganga is being bring and to have a bath of the Shivji. Okay. Second one is the hair donation in the Tirupati temple. So, what are your views on it?
Yeah, people have very much customized them based on their comfort. For example, Kamar Yatra, worshipping of Shiva is fine. We are not condemn. We don't condemn that. He is a Param Vaishnav. We should be worshipping him. But the point is, the austerity should be performed while bringing Ganga Jal when they go to Kashi or Allahabad, in worship of Lord Shiva. That austerity is not performed nicely. Like I see crowd gather in a truck or some vehicle, and then big speakers, Bollywood songs are playing, and people are just dancing. So it has become like a picnic for them. I don't see a devotion coming out of that. Huh? Like there is a what is the Ganesh Visarjan in Maharashtra that happens every year. And I was in Pune back in 2016. So I was in Pune and I was going to my office in IBM. So my office was in Hinjawadi and I was living nearby. So I saw uh, Ganesh ji were made sit inside a vehicle, and the speakers were playing the music, Bollywood music. Even the music was so particular. The song was "O Ganpat Chal Darula." Can you imagine? Ganpati ji is sitting inside, and he he would be thinking, "Boss, what are you doing with me?" So what I'm trying to say is that people have really made their devotion so cheap that it's not very cheap. It's not at it's not so cheap that you will be playing Bollywood music, and that too to such low standard. So demigod worship is fine, but worshipping in a way scriptures are telling, like Durga Devi worship. Scriptures are saying, okay, you have a desire to eat meat, no problem. Offer it to Durga and then have it. But the way you offer it, if you will hear the way it has to be offered, you will never eat meat. It is suggested that Durga Devi temple should be outside of the city. You go there and you cut the goat. For example, you want to eat goat meat. Cut the throat of the goat right there and pray that, oh God, because of my tongue satisfaction, I am cutting you this life. But in the next life, you can also cut me. Imagine if you sing that prayer to eat meat. If you can, then you can eat meat, offer it to Durga and have it. But are we following that injunction? We are not. That is why in this Kali Yuga, it is said that anything we do from the deity worship perspective will not be perfect. Then what to do? Hare Nam, Hare Nave Kevalam. Kalo Naste Gati Nandana. Which means chant Hare Krishna and make your life perfect. That's the only yag, Sankirtan yag we can do in this life. What yag otherwise will do? Everything is impure. You wanna offer ghee in yagya, that is impure. The recitation is not pure. The person who is performing that yagya is not pure. What we will offer to the Lord? That is why Krishna, as a very most merciful God, came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Okay, you don't need to do anything else. Just chant Hare Krishna, and that will give you everything, materially, spiritually, everything. It will give you." Correct? No? Does that make sense, Devesh Prabhu? Okay, I think it does.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, like Srila Prabhupada is giving some more examples. He was saying that the word kam karataha is very significant. A person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust. He knows that this is forbidden, but still he does it. This is called act whimsically. Huh? So many people in this world, they know that they can get spiritual knowledge, guidance, but they don't accept it. They're like, no, we just want to do like this. So in our bhakti stage also, initially when we get some knowledge about bhakti, we also start working whimsically. We have to be very cautious. It's not when only materialistic people are doing whimsically. Even devotees also start acting whimsically, because the starting phase when they come in, they learn that there are four elevated principles, six nouns, and they think that just by doing this this is enough. So they don't take proper guidance. This is also kam karta. They also know that they should take proper guidance, should be under some authority, but they are not doing that. This is also acting whimsically. We're like watching some YouTube video of some speaker and making some assumption, okay, this is how it is, and then living the life. No, there should be some proper guide in bhakti. That is why I've written this line. This is not Prabhupada's line in black. This is my line that I've written. Initial stages, one, we should have shelter of one advanced devotee with us, who inspire and who we can share our heart with, and who save us from this whimsical behavior. We should always have some guide, who we can share our heart with, who can also guide us, and who is also not having his own personal agenda when he's guiding us. So a guide should always be there. Later, Krishna tells that one should therefore understand what is the duty, what is not duty by regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So ends our chapter 16. Krishna told about divine and demoniac. Let me quickly go to chapter 17. Now, chapter 17, uh, I will I will show you in diagrams. So it has three parts: principle, aspects of life, conclusion. So basically, Arjuna is gonna ask. 1 minute, let me. Yeah. So Arjuna is going to ask one question, and then Krishna will start explaining around that question. So Arjuna will ask about faith, and then Krishna will explain, and then Krishna will also explain the how we should live our lifestyle, and then he will conclude. So in the first shloka, Arjuna is asking, "O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principle of scripture, but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, passion, or ignorance?" So you remember, right? These three modes we talked about. There is a complete chapter dedicated to these three modes of material nature. Arjuna is asking that people, those are worshipping in their own way, in their own whimsical way. So what do we call them? Are they in goodness, passion, or ignorance? Because in that chapter, Krishna was telling that people in mode of goodness, uh, they worship me, or like that. But now Arjuna is saying, but if they are doing whimsically, then what is their position? Are they in goodness, more passion, or ignorance? So Krishna is telling, if one does not follow the Vedas, one will follow the natural instincts, which will be in goodness, passion, or ignorance. You understanding this point? See, one is not following the Vedas, but he has some natural instincts. Let's say one has a natural instincts to in goodness. Natural instinct in goodness means he want to help others. Huh? Similarly, one has a natural instinct to fight. Huh? One has a natural instinct to sleep. He always into lazy mood. So in that mood, then they will start following and they start worshipping, for example. So let's say one is saying, one is in the mood of goodness, serving others, helping others. Then and so he will not understand what Vedas are talking about it. He has this natural instinct. So in that mode, he will start saying, okay, oh, God's worship is actually serving others. People say Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. Have you heard this? Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. Some people call it like this. So they are calling out because of mode of goodness they have. So they are not doing Madhav Seva directly. They think, oh, just Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. So they will start engaging themselves in people worship. So now, so extending that discussion, Krishna is talking about faith and worship. So Krishna first told that if people will not follow Vedas, they will follow their natural instincts of worship. So now, what happens in that worship? Krishna is now going to tell. 1 minute, let me expand it. So he's saying that men in the mode of goodness, men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. They will worship the demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. Those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. So what he's saying, that person who is in mode of goodness and he wants to worship, so he will worship the demigods. See, um demigod worship means you have some goodness qualities, waking up early in the morning, um, and not doing gross sacrifices. Some demons, right? Who There was one demon who cut his throat, hand, leg in the worship of Shiva. There are also some demons like that. So some people approach demigods, some people approach demons, some people approach even ghosts and spirits. These babas, Agodi Baba and all. So many people worship ghost and spirit also. So there are different level of people, and these people go to different um approach different type of other people also, based on their natural instincts. As a devotee, we should not be worrying about them because we know that Krishna is a supreme person. So these are just details. Actually, we don't need to go into so much into this. These are just details. But very surprisingly, when I was reading this chapter, I was thinking that after a few shloks only now, Krishna started talking about food. Even Arjuna did not even ask him. Arjuna is not asking about food, but Krishna said that, oh, like faith, food is also similarly like this. And one who is eating food, he also eat food based on the nature, goodness, and passion and ignorance. And then Krishna tells that wholesome, juicy, and pleasing food is in mode of goodness. Like food is also in three modes. Huh? Satagun, Rajagun, and Tamaguni food. So he's saying that we should eat food which is in mode of goodness, which means wholesome, juicy, and pleasing. Wholesome means it has good vitamins, and juicy, it should be pleasing to the heart also. What is the result with this? It gives long life, it purifies, it gives strength, and it is disease free, it gives happiness. But the sour, hot, and burning, like spicy, that type of food is a passionate food. And the result is distress, misery, anger. These are all results of eating spicy food, spicy, bitter, hot. What the food is, that food makes us what, like we are what we eat. huh? So that's what Krishna is telling here. And then food in mode of goodness, the food which is tasteless, decomposed, all these packing foods that comes in market, no? They will pack what do they call it, ready to eat food. So this is all more in ignorance. What it gives? It gives infection, disease, contamination, and early death. This is the mode of goodness. We should not be. We should be cooking nice food. We should offer it to Krishna and then have it. Because we are not in goodness. We are not in passion. We are not in ignorance. We are in mode of Krishna. Mode of Krishna means we are not vegetarians. We are prasadatarians. We offer food to Krishna and then we have it. And so, what type of Krishna food? What type of food Krishna accepts? Pattam, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. So, usually we should try to offer food which is in mode of goodness to Krishna, and then we should have it. Krishna talks about sacrifice also, but I'm not going to much detail because we already know about it. That in Kali Yuga we have to do these things, and two things: 16 rounds and four rags principle. This is our important part, at least at the stage we are in. And then when we will go much deeper into Bhagavad Gita study, then probably I can share more insights into this. Krishna is talking about lifestyle also, the other aspects of lifestyle, which means how we should, again, in three modes, how we should deal with others, how should we speak, and how should we control our mind. 1 minute, let me. So Krishna is telling that as far as speech is concerned, mode of goodness speech is means truthful, it is pleasing, and it is beneficial to others. It should not be harmful to others, displeasing to others. We should not be telling lie also, which is called buttering. We should not be doing that. The mode of speech means it is truthful, it is pleasing, and it is beneficial also. There are three parameters: truth, beneficial, and it should be pleasing. It is truth and it is beneficial, but it is not pleasing to the ears. Then that is also not good. We should learn how to speak so it is pleasing also. Similarly, Krishna is saying buttering. Buttering is a mode of passion. Manipulative gossip as per their selfish need. This is all mode of passion. And ignorance means lying, agitating, or harming. Okay. Uh, yeah. Krishna is telling about charity here. That in mode of goodness, we do some charity. That okay, no, it is our duty. Let's do it. Uh, Then in passion, we expect some result, that, oh, we offer 10% of our salary to Krishna, then Krishna will give us 100% back. So it's like it's just the charity in mode of passion. Then in mode of ignorance, charity is given to impure things to do. See, what is the type of charity that devotees do in temples? Huh? One is coming out of impure mind, other is coming out of impure motives, and this is coming out of duty. Goodness is also fine. If one does charity, goodness is fine. Passion and ignorance are definitely not good, but if someone is doing as a duty, that I'm earning 100 rupees, 50% I will give to Krishna. That is my duty as a citizen, or in the welfare of other society, if not directly to devotion. Let's say he is doing this charity out of a duty towards country or society. But the charity that devotees do for Krishna, that comes out of love, and that charity is best charity. The charity which is done out of love, not out of duty, not out of expectation of some results, not out of any other inferior motives. But charity which is done out of love, that is best charity that is to be done. And then Krishna concludes this chapter explaining Om Tat Sat and verse um, about sacrifice. The last shloka of this chapter. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in Supreme Lord is impermanent. Impermanent means it will give some result. Probably it will take you heavenly planets. But once we have consumed that karmic result of living in planet, then it is done. It is gone. Correct? It is consumed properly. Now you have to come back on the earth. But which is the charity which is done for the Supreme Lord, it is always there. It is permanent. Why? Because it is Bhakti Sukriti, it will take you back to God. It will always stay with you. So Krishna is saying it is useless both in this life and the next. What is useless? The charity which does not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are just doing charity without knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that charity is impermanent. It will give us some result of some kind of pleasure, some kind of pain, but it is impermanent. That's why Krishna is saying it is useless. What is the point of giving the charity which is useless, which has no use? So this is chapter 17. I know I summarized it real quick, but I mean, considering the time, I had to do that. Chapter 18 will take now. Actually, chapter 18 has 5 parts. It's a big chapter. Chapter 18 is like chapter 2. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2 is like summarized Bhagavad Gita, summary of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. So chapter 2 is also big. And this is the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is like conclusion of whole Bhagavad Gita. This is also a big chapter. So here also Krishna is again summarizing the yoga we already discussed in detail, like summary. So Krishna was first detail about Karam Yoga, Gyan Yoga, then modes of material nature, ideal worker. So you see this Karam and Gyan Yoga we have already discussed in chapter 3, 4 and 5. Chapter 3 we discussed Karam Yoga, then Gyan Yoga, and then 5 we discussed Karam Yoga in Krishna consciousness. And then this also we discussed recently, I think chapter 14, modes of material nature. And then we discussed ideal worker is again Karam Yoga. Krishna is saying that I created this 4 class: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. I created them. So how we should be doing our duty, that also we discussed in Karam Yoga. So we will discuss these 2 blocks in this chapter: love of Godhead and end results. So in love of Godhead, so as you see, the love of Godhead, the shloka is starting from 56, but I'm taking the main shlokas here. So I'm taking chapter 63 from chapter 63. Krishna is saying, thus I have explained to you, knowledge is still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and do what you wish to do. Now Krishna is saying, Krishna actually told Arjuna a lot of things, and now in this 63 shloka of chapter 18, Krishna is saying Guhya Taram. Guhya Taram means, so there was Guhya, Guhya Taram, and Guhya Tamam. Guhya means confidential, Guhya Taram means more confidential, and Guhya Tamam means most confidential. Huh? So Krishna is telling that I told you more confidential knowledge, and if you stick to it, I told you, then now you can do whatever you want. From my side, I told you everything. Okay. Then he says, but Krishna is still not satisfied. He said, okay, let me tell you the most confidential also. So he's saying, Sarva Guhya Tamam Bhuya Shranu Me Paramam Vacha Ishto Asi Me Dadmiti Tato Vakshami Tehitam. Tehitam means for your benefit. He's saying, because you are my dear devotee, a dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Anyone can guess? Can anyone guess what is that most confidential knowledge? Let's see who answers this. I know it. Huh? Neha Mataji can answer. Let's see. Yes, Mataji.
The most confident that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Maybe not.
Yes, but what Krishna is going to tell now? Probably I should ask that. What
Oh.
Krishna is going to tell now? Yes, Anandpur, you wanna try?
Bhakti yoga.
You are close, but I'm explicitly looking for something which Krishna is going to tell now.
Can I try, Prabhuji?
Please go ahead.
Krishna is going to tell that believe me, surrender to me, and I will take care of you completely. And one who propagates my love to others is dear to me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Super, super. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you. Thank you. So Krishna will say Man Mana Badman. So these are two supreme instructions that Krishna is going to tell now. Not to Arjuna. Arjuna is already his dear devotee, dear friend, but to us. So Krishna is going to tell now Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosime. So Krishna says, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. And then further Krishna says, Sarv dharman paritajya mamekam sharnam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma sucha. What is the meaning of ma sucha? Don't fear, do not fear. Why Krishna is saying do not fear? He could have simply said mas sarv dharman paritajya. Because there will be little, we are so much attached to so many other things, and there is someone who is coming to us saying that forget about other things, just come to me, I will take care of everything. We would be little fearful to leave everything else and approach Krishna, right? That is why Krishna is saying Masucha, don't fear, I am here to take care of you. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This is the first confidential instruction of all the scriptures. And actually, all the scriptures have been written to bring the reader on this single point. You know, all the theses, like all the science theses, have been written. What is the purpose of nursery, KG, 9, 10th, 11, 12th, all type of education? To bring a science person to that understanding where he can do the science research, become a scientist. Ultimately, he has to enter into that science field. That is the whole objective of educating him any type of knowledge, so he can become a doctor, right? He can come to that level. So that is the single most platform where a spiritualist has to come and stand upon. All the platforms are down below. If someone says I know so much scripture, Bible, you know Quran and Upanishad, Ved, everything, everything, that is not a problem. But if you are not coming and standing on this platform even after reading that, then you are still on the lower platform because you have not come to the real platform. What is the real purpose of that education? Correct? That is man mana bad mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vashyasi satyam te pratyajane priyosime. And then further this one, sardharman paritijya mame kam sharnam vraja aham tvam sarvapebhyo mokshishyami ma sucha. That is the purpose. And then what is the end result of all this? That we have studied Bhagavad Gita. We have been together since April, studying Bhagavad Gita together, discussing about it. Now Krishna is telling the benefit. Krishna is saying, Idam te nat paskaya nav bhaktaya kadachana na cha shushrave vachyam na cha mam yo abhyasuyati. Krishna says, this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. So this is a learning for us. We should not be educating those who are not fulfilling these criterias. Austere, devotee, engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious of me. Huh? When I first read this translation few years back, I was thinking, then with that condition, So many conditions there: austere, devoted, engaged in devotional service, or one who is envious of me. Then no one will be left to be taught this knowledge. The Kali Yuga is so degrading, no one will be left. We are not engaged in devotional service, we are not devoted, we are not austere also. And what to talk about envious of Krishna? We are envious of everybody else around us. Who will be left to receive this knowledge? But Prabhupada, all the acharyas, all the spiritual masters, they come to bestow their mercy. It is said that spiritual masters are even more merciful than Krishna. And in the sense, Krishna says, okay, let them, like a mother, like a mother. Krishna is like mother, and spiritual masters are like father. In this analogy, I can understand that mother gives child ample amount of time, ample love, and with that ample love, he says, okay, no problem. One day my child will come back, no problem. But father is very strict. He says, no, he should become intelligent. I will give him knowledge. He will come back. The spiritual masters, they can't wait. Actually, they say, no, this living entity is suffering. Will educate him. Will bring him back home, back to Godhead. So even if we are not austere, even if we are not devoted, even if we are not engaged in devotion service, even though we are so envious of Krishna, a spiritual master comes on this planet, and they develop what? They develop friendship with us. First, they will give us love. They will develop friendship. And what is the purpose of that friendship? The purpose of that friendship is to give this education to us. That's all. And believe me or not, once we get this education, we become more grateful to their trick. Isn't it? This is a trick. The spiritual masters use this trick to educate us. They will first develop the friendship. They will help us in all our nonsense. They will help us. They will help us to the. I can't express my gratitude towards my spiritual master. They help us so much, and this and in that trick they start giving us this knowledge also, and then we become blissful. So, but from preaching perspective, we are traveling. We just be little cautious not to start educating any other person. But if we have some type of relationship with the person and who is little, have some respect for us, then slowly we should be connecting them into Krishna consciousness. Because what is the benefit? Now Krishna is telling, see, if we connect them into Krishna consciousness, Krishna says, for one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. This is the benefit of preaching. Sometimes people ask me, why you invest so much time in preaching? I say, because Krishna is saying that this is the only hope. The preaching is the only hope to get this. I want this. We all are striving for this pure devotional service towards Krishna. And Krishna is saying, who is preaching, he will get this thing. And at the end, he will come back to me. That is the benefit. And preaching doesn't mean that we arrange classes and we give lectures. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj used to say, he says that preaching is a full-time business. Sometimes we give lectures. You understand my point? We are walking on the road, we are talking in general to the people, we are having prasadam, we are interacting with people, those are even not devotees. It's a full-time business. Preaching is a full-time business. Sometimes we come 1 hour, 2 hour to give lectures. So lectures should not become the preaching. Our whole life should become a preaching. Even there are preaching programs happening. There is a speaker coming, making arrangements for the speaker, bringing more people to sit in the class, having prasadam, spending time with them, discussing this philosophy with the devotees who are already devotees. The three types of interaction Rupa Goswami tells. So I quickly tell you, we are short of time, I feel, but I quickly try to tell you. Junior, then peer, and then seniors. So we have to interact in this way. If it's the junior, I'm talking from devotee perspective, because all of you devotees now. So there will be junior devotees. Junior devotees means they came after you. You first came, and then you connected new people. So he's a junior to you, or the person came after you into devotion service. So they are junior. And senior means who is, let's say, initiated. He's senior. A person came before you in Krishna consciousness, he's also senior. And peer means two people came together in Krishna consciousness. Now sometimes people come together in Krishna consciousness, but one got initiated. Now he is senior to you. Or you got initiated, you are senior. But in our mode, we are always junior. But from interaction perspective, we should know who is junior, senior, and peer. Now, when it comes to junior, we should give him love. No philosophy discussion, okay? Until he accepts you as guru or advance or something like that, or he is seeking help, then you can discuss philosophy with him. Otherwise, we are juniors. If he's a junior, give him love, every type of support, not only spiritual, material support also. If he's looking for some job, he's not getting placed in any company, help him. Once people get some mental peace, then he performs their devotion service nicely. So love and senior respect, very very respectful to seniors. Like we are like, nothing, like a beggar. Beggar, you stand in front of beggar, and beggar situation, you see, he just makes like this face, like so deenheen. Like I'm nothing. uh just please save me, like that. So when we interact our senior devotees, our position should be, please save me, I'm stuck in this material world, your senior devotee, please save me. Our interaction should be in that mode. It's not like we keep crying, please save me, but our mentality, our interaction, our mood should be that he is my senior, he is my protector, he can save me with folded hands. Please save me. And in peers respect should be very cordial relation, you know, very jokingly, very, where we can share our heart with. Our peer relation should be like that. So all of you started this journey together in our April class. So our relation should our relation with each other should be very open heart relation, where we can share our heart, discuss this philosophy, not imposing our mind or our knowledge on others, but understanding others' perspective also, and having this nice relationship with each other. And this is also preaching. Believe me, this is also preaching, helping the others so they can practice nicely. This is also very nice way of helping another. One devotee I know, and he is in Mumbai. What he does, his only job is to help devotees get placed in companies. That's his service. Any devotee who is struggling with financially, if he is struggling, devotee is struggling with job, or devotee is struggling anything material, he will help him. Why? Because he thinks that if, and that's right, he will get settled there. He will get some peace to perform devotion service. And I have been seeing, one devotee in Pune. He was struggling very hard, and he got placed in a company in Mumbai, and now he's regularly visiting temple, and advancing in devotion service. So we have to help in every way the devotees around us. Very much needed. Okay, and then further Krishna says there is no servant, and this is what Devesh Prabhu was also sharing, right? Krishna saying, one who is preaching pure devotion service guarantee, and he will come back to me. And then Krishna says, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be ever be one more dear. Correct, no? One who is preaching. And then further he says, and I declare that he who studies this conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. So what is the meaning of worshipping Krishna by intelligence? See, worshipping Krishna by sentiment is one thing, and worshipping Krishna by intelligence is one thing. When you worship someone by intelligence, you are firmly convinced that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And when we worship someone by sentiment, it means that we are not convinced by the personality we are worshipping, but we are convinced by our sentiments that, oh, I have to just worship him. Hey, why you are worshipping? He doesn't know, just conviction. But you ask any person in our ISKCON why you are worshipping Krishna, they will immediately start quoting multiple shlokas from scriptures that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead, which means they are intelligently convinced. I mean, their intelligence is completely convinced that Krishna is the supreme person. They have read Bhagavad Gita. So that's why Krishna is saying here, who studies this sacred conversation of ours, worship me by his intelligence, not by his emotions. First intelligence, then emotions. And then Krishna further says, and one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions. Wow. So amazing, isn't it? The eradication of this sinful reaction is so much required, because sinful reactions will keep troubling us life after life, life after life. And we will be bewildering. Why this is happening to me? Why this is happening to me? I don't know. uh, and just by listening, just by listening this literature, great literature, we will, become sin free. There is no sin will be left, and attains to the auspicious planets where pious dwell. And then he says, Sanjay said. Now this conversation has ended. Even after that, Krishna says to Arjuna, "Are you convinced?" And then Arjuna says, "Yes. Now my illusion is dispelled, and I'm fully convinced." And then Sanjay said, "Thus I have heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end." So he's saying that I am getting goosebumps even after hearing all this conversation. Says by the Vyas. So you remember chapter 1 when we started in April, I told you that Sanjay, when he's narrating this to Dhritarashtra, he first he got the mercy of Vyasdev. Vyasdev wanted Dhritarashtra to see the battlefield himself. But Dhritarashtra said that no, all my relatives are there, I can't see. But you give this chakshu of watching this battlefield to someone else, and I will hear from him whenever the time required. So Vyasdev gave this chakshu to who? Sanjaya. And after 10th or probably 13th day, when Bhishma was killed, that day Dhritarashtra expressed his desire to Sanjaya, saying that, "Can you show me the battlefield? I want to see what is happening." And that was happening from day one. So from day one, what has started happening, then Sanjay started narrating, and that's the first Bhagavad Gita he first narrated, and then he started narrating the whole Mahabharata war. That's why he's saying here, by the mercy of Vyasa. Who is saying that? Sanjay. Sanjay is saying, by the mercy of Vyas, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who speaking personally to Arjuna. See, in Bhagavad Gita, you see Sanjay at many places. You will see Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Sanjay is saying. It means Sanjay was fully convinced that Lord Shri Krishna is Bhagavan himself. He is the Lord. And here also he's saying directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna. Yogeshwar. Uh, Yogeshwar has been used for Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. Okay, so we'll stop here. If anyone has any comment, first of all, thank you so much for tolerating me since April. We are together. April, May, June, July, August. 5 months. Thank you for tolerating me and giving me this opportunity, so I can share this knowledge, the little bit that I heard from my senior devotees. I try to, share that knowledge with you. If I made any mistake, I know I have a lot of imperfections, but if I made any mistake, I beg forgiveness from all of you with bottom of my heart. And if I I could, motivate you a little bit, that is all because of my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara. I'm just a loudspeaker. They were actually speaking. I'm just trying to become a loudspeaker instrument in their hand. So thank you so much once again. If there is any question or comment, we can take that.
May I request all the devotees to say 3 times Haribol to Ashwini Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Haribol,
Hari
Haribol,
Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
devotees.
Thank you so much,
Ashwini
thank you.
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
thank you so much for the wealth
No,
of knowledge you've shared, so much of wisdom you've shared. Amazing journey last 5 months. Beautiful lectures. Yeah, I have no words actually. Very, very, very well explained, simple language. And I
thank
think
you,
we should
Anand.
continue the journey in the future too with other subjects which you can actually shower the nectar on us.
Sure, Puja, I'll try to see how can I serve you.
Also,
Thank you,
give us
Anand.
the opportunity to serve you.
No, no, already
So we
serving me
want to
by
be the servant
tolerating
of
me
the
1.5
servant of
hours.
the servant.
They are already tolerating me 1.5 hour every Sunday
Prabhuji, I have
coming
something
into
to
these
say. Can
classes.
I say something?
Yes, Devshru.
Prabhuji, this association has actually reminded me the days when I initially start going ISKCON and getting association with the devotees. So that association was lost somewhere, and I was searching something. Like I don't know, but I was looking myself that
this is not the journey which I was looking for. This is not the life I was ever looking for, because I don't have any association. But after, and there were so many turmoils was going on within during my official working. But getting guidance from you, getting these classes regularly, it's like you take me back to the olden days when I used to go regularly temple, have a motivation to do seva and all. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for all such classes. And I keep bothering you for so many things, for so many doubts.
No, you never
Thereafter
did.
also.
No, you're such an amazing
Thank-
devotee.
Thanks for tolerating me personally. I've made take so many hours from your personal time.
No. You are an amazing devotee. Thank you very much for staying. Okay. Anything else from anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Smita Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. So, yeah, so first of all, thank you very much for all of your classes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, it gave me the chance to at least read through, not everything, but at least some of the things right from the beginning. Since I
Yeah.
joined somewhere in the middle, but yeah, it was very helpful for me. So, Prabhuji, what is our next
Mataji.
course? Like, are we continuing with something more, Prabhuji, or is there any plan that you have thought about yet, or you are thinking about it?
Yeah, I didn't think much about it. Some devotees are suggesting to have in-person classes. I don't know how would that work out. So I'm open. I'm open for sharing deeper insights of Bhagavad Gita. But I don't know how do I plan this in-person thing. So I still need time to see how I should be doing. But if some of you have some idea in rotation, these devotees can manage, I'm happy to come.
Mhm.
So let's see. Probably we can keep discussing. Yes, Jay, you're saying something. Yeah. So yes,
Prabhuji, this is Jay.
yes. Hare Krishna, Jay.
I just want to echo everybody's sentiment. I mean, really, I mean, for me and Poonam, for us, I mean, it was like, I don't know how we got to know about this class and we came to this class, but it was the most lucky thing, we would say, while we were thinking in various ways that, okay, yes, we should get involved and get to learn, but we never would have got here. I think there was some way that we got to this, and we want to continue this because this great opportunity has come for us to learn, and we have just started on the path. That's how I feel. So I would definitely
Sure.
like to continue the class as you were suggesting.
Sure.
Things, whatever. I mean, by rotation, if we can just get it started, that will be so great. I mean, I know. We will be blessed. I mean, with you will putting more effort and will take more of your time. But I mean, definitely, that's what we would want to do. So
Sure.
let us realize the last class has come today. I thought we have a couple more, but I think we should definitely connect and see how quickly we can start the classes going. You were suggesting something about
Yes, please.
kind of location, but that's fine. If people are willing to come to Plano, they can come. We can start wherever, at our house or somebody's
Sure.
house. It's convenient for everybody. We should definitely continue this. That's how we feel.
Sure, Jay. Thank you so very much. You and Poonam Mataji have been regular since beginning, and I think you have tolerated me the most. Thank you so very much.
I can't tell you. You have tolerated us by being very patient with sharing all this. So yes, that's what we feel. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay Bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Last thing, everybody has already mentioned. Thank you for the class. I was just thinking before we
Yeah.
get into in person, do you think we can do online and while we decide when we can do in person? It's something to think about. I mean,
Okay.
because I think everybody in here is interested in going a little bit deeper. Sorry if
Okay.
I'm speaking for you, but I think we can start online and then
Okay.
maybe do in person. But again, that's something to think about.
Sure, Mataji. Your point's taken, and think about it, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neha. And thank you, Neha Mataji, for your service, for coordinating with all the groups, personally and on group also. So thank you so very much for your service.
Okay. Did you get a chance to look at a second part of our test?
Yeah, I need
Okay.
to send reminders because some of you have not sent yet.
Okay.
I was thinking if everybody will submit, then I'll go ahead and check that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neha Mataji. Thank you. Okay. Anything else from anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Shweta Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, it's a nice meeting you and all the devotees and coming here and listening to your lectures. So actually, it's really helped me a lot. I mean, I could continue my spiritual journey like with your teachings, and also like you helped me in chanting regularly. Like because I was I know like I could not even able to finish even single round. I was feeling lethargy, and I feel like no, no, I have come to the sixth round. I'm asking like when I can increase my next round. I was like I can now daily increase my next round like that. So I'm very much into it. Even I have some busy schedules, but still I could make a time whenever it is possible, and you know I'm able to do it because you're helping me. So not only in teaching and even in this other spiritual part as well. And you are going to, I mean, you always cleared my doubts, which arise, without. I
Yeah.
really don't know like how to express, but this class is really helpful. And also, like, we would like to hear more things from you, Prabhuji, like, regarding Krishna, because most of us who has come from non-Vaishnava background, we really don't know who exactly Krishna is, right? So, yes, now you taught us about, what Krishna teachings is. So,
Yes, ma'am.
we want to know more about Krishna, also separate Godhead. So,
Sure.
and even the other devotees, when you're taking the class, and they were
Yeah.
asking many questions. Even those questions cleared our doubts. It's not like extending the time; it's actually cleared our doubts. And I would like
Yeah.
to thank to all the devotees who asked questions and cleared my doubts indirectly. And
Yes,
thanks
ma'am.
being regular so that we also get motivated to connect it and attend the
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah. All of you are giving me also strength to be regular and read the scriptures. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's
Thank you,
really wonderful to have you
thank you,
and all
Shweta
the
Mataji.
devotees. Thank
My
you.
wife still remembers the lunch we had at your home.
Oh no, I don't think so. That was that great. But you're so, merciful that you
No, no.
like my cooking.
Okay. Thank you so very much, all the devotees. We'll we'll keep each other. We'll stay connected with each other, and we'll plan something out. Okay. Okay. Thank you so very much.
Hare
Sure.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.